Germany finds itself increasingly uneasy as the United States, once a steadfast ally, appears to be retreating from its global commitments. The warmth of the post-World War II partnership, solidified during the Cold War, has chilled. Germany is now facing a new era where the guarantees of the past seem less certain. This shift in US policy has left Germany feeling vulnerable and questioning the future of the transatlantic alliance. The sense of abandonment is palpable across the German political spectrum. The US, under the current administration, has shown a tendency towards unilateral action, often sidelining its European partners. This approach has manifested in various policy areas from trade to security, leaving Germany and other European nations grappling with the implications of a less predictable and reliable ally. The situation has created a sense of urgency in Berlin, prompting a reassessment of Germany's strategic posture and its place in the evolving global order. The recent detention of several German nationals by US Immigration and Customs Enforcement has further amplified anxieties in Germany. These incidents, perceived by many as arbitrary and unjust, have struck a nerve in a country that values the rule of law and due process. The detentions have fueled a growing perception that the US is becoming increasingly inward-looking, prioritizing its own interests over those of its allies. This perception has cast a shadow over the historically close relationship between the two nations. The German government, caught off guard by the sudden shift in US policy, is now faced with the daunting task of navigating this new reality. The old certainties have crumbled, and Germany must now chart a new course, one that balances its commitment to the transatlantic partnership with the need to safeguard its own interests and values in an increasingly uncertain world. The path ahead is fraught with challenges, but the stakes are too high for Germany to stand idly by as the world order it helped build comes undone. The detention of German citizens by US immigration authorities has sent shockwaves through Germany, raising concerns about the fairness and transparency of US law enforcement practices. These incidents have exposed the human cost of shifting immigration policies, leaving German citizens feeling vulnerable and uncertain about their rights when traveling to the United States. The cases have also strained relations between the two countries, highlighting the potential for friction in the transatlantic partnership. One particularly jarring case involved Fabian Schmidt, a German citizen and green card holder who was detained for an extended period at Logan Airport in Boston. Schmidt, who suffers from a medical condition requiring regular medication, was reportedly denied access to his medicine while in custody, raising concerns about his well-being and the treatment of foreign nationals by US authorities. His detention, along with other similar incidents, has fueled a sense of outrage and disbelief in Germany, where such treatment of its citizens by a close ally is seen as unacceptable. In another case, Lukas Silaf, a young German traveler, was detained by US immigration officials after a trip to Mexico. Despite holding a valid visa, Silaf was held in custody for 2 weeks without explanation before being deported back to Germany. The lack of transparency surrounding his detention and the absence of any formal charges have raised serious questions about due process and the rights of foreign nationals within the US justice system. These incidents have left many Germans wondering if they too could face arbitrary detention when traveling to the United States. These detentions, occurring against the backdrop of a broader crackdown on immigration in the United States, have prompted the German government to issue a travel advisory for its citizens planning to visit the US. The advisory, a rare step for Germany to take against a close ally, reflects the growing concern in Berlin about the unpredictability of US immigration enforcement and the potential risks faced by German nationals traveling to the US. The advisory serves as a stark reminder of the erosion of trust and the growing rift between the two nations. As the United States appears to be re-evaluating its security commitments abroad, Germany finds itself at a crossroads, grappling with the implications for its own defense and strategic autonomy. The long-standing reliance on the US nuclear umbrella, a cornerstone of German security policy since the end of World War II, is now being questioned as Germany seeks to chart a new course in a world where old alliances can no longer be taken for granted. Germany, acutely aware of its own history and the devastating consequences of military adventurism, has long been hesitant to assert itself militarily. However, the shifting geopolitical landscape, coupled with the perceived unreliability of its traditional ally, has prompted a re-evaluation of this stance. The need for credible deterrence, once entrusted to the United States, has taken on a new urgency, leading Germany to explore alternative security arrangements. One avenue being actively explored is Haussezi Seina Vopar in Biensfibo Final Defense cooperation with France and the United Kingdom, both nuclear powers within the European Union. Germany, under the leadership of its new Chancellor, has initiated high-level talks with Paris and London to discuss the possibility of extending their nuclear umbrella to cover German territory. These discussions, while still in their early stages, represent a significant shift in German strategic thinking, signaling a willingness to consider options that were previously unthinkable. While France and the United Kingdom possess nuclear capabilities, their arsenals are significantly smaller than that of the United States and are primarily designed for national defense, not extended deterrence for allies. Expanding these capabilities to encompass broader alliance commitments would require substantial investment and could potentially provoke Russia, further complicating the European security landscape. The challenges are daunting, but the urgency of the situation and the need to fill the security vacuum left by a retreating United States have propelled Germany to explore all available options. Germany's current predicament highlights the strategic bind it finds itself in, caught between its dependence on the United States for security and its reluctance to embrace a more assertive military posture. This dependence, coupled with years of underinvestment in its own defense capabilities, has left Germany vulnerable at a time of heightened global uncertainty. For decades, Germany has benefited from the security guarantees provided by the United States and NATO. This reliance allowed Germany to focus on its economic development and integration within Europe, contributing to its prosperity and stability. However, the changing global order, marked by a more assertive Russia and a less predictable United States, has exposed the limitations of this approach, forcing Germany to confront the need for greater strategic autonomy. The lack of clear and consistent messaging from Washington regarding its commitment to European security has only amplified anxieties in Berlin. The current US administration's transactional approach to foreign policy, often characterized by unpredictability and a disregard for traditional alliances, has left Germany and other European allies questioning the reliability of US security guarantees. This uncertainty has fueled a growing sense in Germany that it can no longer rely solely on the United States for its security. The need for a more independent and assertive German foreign policy, one that is willing to invest in its own defense capabilities and forge new partnerships, has become increasingly apparent. The path ahead will require difficult choices and a willingness to rethink long-held assumptions about Germany's role in the world. However, the stakes are too high for Germany to remain on the sidelines as the global order it helped build comes under threat.